Welcome back, Railer fans, here from Decatur MacArthur High School. Josh Comnick along with Jay Harden and Lloyd Kirby on the camera here on a Tuesday night here in the Ground Incorporated and Schneider Chiropractic pregame show. Again, the Railers 23-6 on the season. The Generals pretty close to the Railers' record, 21-7 overall. And Jay, this is a team we've saw a little bit down in Collinsville, and boy, did they have it rolling at that time. They were winners of the Collinsville Holiday Classic, and really did it in somewhat easy fashion for the most part for the Generals. And they've slid a little bit since then. I think they had only lost one game up until Collinsville, and have slid a little bit in the Central State, losing to I believe Sacred Heart Griffin, maybe even Lanphier, I think, a little bit.
They lost to Griffin twice. They lost to Southeast. They lost to Glenwood.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, they've slid a little bit, but yet again, this will be one of the better opponents the Railers have seen, especially, as you know, we saw the Railers with a little fire on their senior night when it gets to that point. The Generals will have a little bit going for themselves tonight. Yeah,
as we talked in the post game with Coach Al after the East Peoria game, we have quite a mix here at the end of the year of different teams, different styles that we're seeing, and this is going to be probably, Josh, I would guess this is going to be about the quickest team I think we're going to see all year. They love to get up and down the floor. They did that down at Collinsville. Brylan Phillips, their 6-foot senior, is the guy who was the MVP down at Collinsville, averaged about 17 points a game, shot 53% from the floor. His running mate, Jabron Anderson, 6'3" senior, they like to get out and fly. They like to fly their guards. Our transition defense is going to be very important here tonight.
The Generals 7-2 here at home on the season. They're 7-3 on the road, and then at neutral sites they're 7-2. So they've played in quite a few neutral sites, 9 games in neutral sites this year for the Generals. So they're second in the Central State 8 with a 13-4 mark, just behind Sacred Heart Griffin. And as you said, a team that we've seen a little bit in the past. You've got some stats. I think this is the 43rd time we've played MacArthur.
43rd since 1958. We're 31-11, I believe, against them. Most of that, Josh, came in it's come in the postseason is when we usually see them. Now, when they came back in the Big 12 for a period of time, starting in about 1983, when the Big 12 expanded to 12 teams, and then we kind of lost track of them when we joined the Central State 8. But we've had a chance to see them in the postseason. In fact, I think you played them in the postseason one time during your career. And don't forget, I can't forget the 2019 game we played in the sectional at our place. The last game we played that year, the gym was packed, the place was hot, and what a contest it was against them. I think it's going to be a tough fight again tonight.
Yeah, there will be a great game here on the road, and as we've talked about, this Railer team loves to play away from Roy S. Anderson Gymnasium. It doesn't seem the crowd and the different atmosphere bothers these guys, who have had a really, really good season up until now, 23-6 on the season. We'll talk about the Railers' road victories as we get closer to tip-off here. 11 minutes and 5 seconds here in the warm-ups. We're going to take another break. Back here from Decatur, Illinois, you're in the Ground Incorporated and Schneider Chiropractic pregame show, and you're listening to Lincoln Railer Basketball. here in the Ground Incorporated and Schneider Chiropractic pregame show. Here from Decatur, Illinois, getting set for the Generals and the Railers here on Tuesday night. Jay Harden, Josh Komnick, and Lloyd Kirby manning the camera for you. The Railers, again, will be in action on Thursday night back at Roy S. Anderson Gymnasium as they get set to take on the Bulldogs from Mahomet Seymour, the last regular season game of the year. That will be 8th grade night for all of the participating 8th graders in the community that played basketball this season. And Jay, the last regular season game upon us quickly here. We know our regional site. We know our regional seed. We kind of know who we're going to play the winner of anyway up at this point. So this game and also Thursday for a lot of pride and a lot of getting yourself ready for that regional action. Yeah, Thursday night's game, Josh. I mean, we don't want to look past this one, but Thursday night's game might be, I hate to say this, more important to Mahomet Seymour than it is to us because we've already beaten them once. If they can come in and knock us off at our place, they're going to have a lot of confidence going into that regional should they happen to meet us on their home floor. The Railers 23-6 on the season. They're 11-3 at home, 9-2 on the road, and 3-1 in neutral sites. And we've talked about this team. They're on a 3-game winning streak right now. Jay looked really good over at East Peoria on Saturday. Another road victory. This team just enjoys, I think, playing on the road at different environment. It's always fun to come in and try and beat an opponent on their home court, and they've done a really, really good job of it. Yes, they have, and the road doesn't seem to affect them. You know, we played Rock Island pretty tough up at their place. We beat Chatham on the road, which I thought was a great accomplishment. We've played really well on the road so far this year. So that is one feather in this team's hat, especially, Josh, when you consider how little experience they had coming into this year. Some of the Railers that have really been playing well so far here in the last couple weeks. Elijah Paulus, Peyton Cook, a nice game from Jake Biven. Gowan starting to get it going a little bit. We've seen Nelson hit a couple threes as of late where he kind of went on a dry spell. So as Coach always says, he likes to get that his team going as he gets close to regional time. He likes to be playing the best, and he's getting real close. Yeah, I think, and we're starting to see that, Josh. You know, the game we played against East Peoria, save for a 2-minute stretch there in the fourth quarter, which he was not happy about. We played probably one of our best games of the year as far as consistency goes from start to finish, and we're starting to see that where they can string maybe 3/4 of a basketball game together, almost 32 minutes, and that's a far cry from where we were at earlier in the year. That's going to wrap it up for us here on our pregame show. After a word from our sponsors, Jay and I will be back here in Decatur to bring you the play-by-play action as Lincoln takes on the Generals. As always, a big thank you goes out to all of our sponsors. This has been the Josh Komnick, Ground Incorporated, and Schneider Chiropractic pregame show, and you're listening to Lincoln Railer Basketball.
back at Decatur MacArthur High School. This is Jay Harden along with Josh Connick for tonight's non-conference contest between the MacArthur Generals, coached by Therese Bryson, with a record of 21-7, 13-4. They finished second in the Central State 8th Conference, and the Lincoln Rail Splitters, led by Coach Neil Alexander, with a record of 23-6, 10-1, and the Apollo Conference champions. Josh, this is going to be a very interesting contest, probably the quickest team we have faced all year.
Oh, absolutely. We got a chance to see them in Collinsville, and really thought they were, and not that they've had a bad season, 21-7 is a really good year, but thought they'd have a few less losses and really compete for that Central State 8 conference, although I don't think SHG has lost since the Thanksgiving tournament at our place.
No, they haven't. In fact, had they not lost those two games, they'd be undefeated right now.
Yeah, and so they were on a roll, and you said they lost twice. MacArthur's lost twice to them. They lost 4 games in the Central State 8, one also to Chatham, Glenwood, and Southeast. But you're right, on their home court, it's going to be a tough contest for the Railers. A very good tune-up, I think, for what you might have a chance to see against 2 different teams, but the environment will be like the same. This place will be loud. It's senior night here. A lot what we could see if the Railers can get by their first test on regional on next Wednesday, what Mahomet might be like on Friday.
And Josh, a team that we might compare them to would be Lanphier, and we had trouble containing Lanphier's transition. We had trouble getting back in transition against Lanphier. There were a number of times in that Lanphier game back in January where they got just blew past the defense and went in for layups. We've got to watch that tonight.
Well, and one thing you can do to combat that is offensive rebound. You know, they can't get out and run. Well, 1, if you score, and 2, if you offensive rebound. And I think the Railers have started to hit the boards a little bit harder on the offensive end. Cook getting in there, Biven, Tyler Saucy, Elijah getting in there, rebounding a little bit more on the offensive end. And if you can stop them, if you can make Decatur really rebound on the defensive end, that'll slow them up in transition.
So we will put that as one of our Me Realty keys to the game, is basically rebounding, especially on the offensive end.
Well, another one better be handle some pressure, because we've talked about how that's hurt the Railers a little bit. You've said that hurt us against Lanphier. When East Peoria started to ratchet up a little bit, we became a little tentative, and we've seen that was one of the big concerns, I think, for Coach Alexander this season, and it has hurt us. We've gotten better at it, but I went through practice yesterday as Carson and I just went in to shoot in the back gym a little bit, and they were working on a lot of press breaker yesterday, and how they're going to break the press of MacArthur tonight. And another thing that the Railers will have to see as you continue to go on through the regional, and hope that we do, different types of defense thrown at us all the time.
And I think, Josh, we're going to add one other thing. It'd probably be our transition defense to the Me Realty keys to the game. Those 3 keys to the game, and I think, Josh, you've talked about this, that rebounding. We saw this at Collinsville. MacArthur likes to fly their guards. If they can go in and get a rebound, they like to fly their guards. So our wing players, Josh, I think are going to have to be very cognizant of them flying their guards and try and make sure they get out and either stop a pass or get back on defense.
Yeah, and you brought it up in the pregame too. Rylan Phillips, he might be the best guard we'll see all year. Really can shoot it from outside, handles the ball really well. Been a starter, was a transfer over from Eisenhower this year and played there for 4 years. His dad was a really good player here. He was the same age as me, Mike Phillips, who went on to Wabash Valley, I believe, and then finished up at Wichita State. So he plays a lot like his dad. He's a stocky guard. He handles the ball real well. He can shoot it from the perimeter. He'll handle their offense and get them going.
And I suspect, Josh, I don't know, I think they'll probably play a lot of man. They may play a lot of man-to-man defense tonight, but I think it'll be a pressure man-to-man. They'll want to get up in our face.
Oh, yeah, they've done their scouting report. They saw us in Collinsville of the inability to handle some pressure, and as you said, that's a lot of their game. Get us to turn it over, and they turn points into turnovers into points really fast, and that's when we talked about the Railers got to get back on defense.
Josh, we did see this against Mount Zion. Of course, Mount Zion's not nearly as quick as MacArthur is, but when Mount Zion pressed us, when we attacked the press and we broke it and kept attacking, we were pretty good against it. And you're right, we can't get tentative against this team because they'll be like sharks in the water if we're tentative against them.
Yeah, you got to look to score. You can't look to just break the press. You've got to look to score after it, and if 2 or 3, 4 of those in a row and you score layups, Tyrese will think about bringing that press off a little bit.
So am I going to have to you're not going to have a flashback on me from Tyrese, are you?
I don't even like to look at that guy. He lit us up as bad as I've been lit up before my junior year, and he came into Roy S. and put on one of the best shooting displays that I've seen, and it routed us when he was at Stephen Decatur. And I was looking at the assistants. Mike Wilder was a very good player for Stephen Decatur, and he's an assistant for him too. So they got two guys I don't care for.
Monty Wilson was a pretty good player over at Eisenhower too. So they've got some guys that they could probably hoop it up with our coaching staff.
Yeah. Well, they'd give us a good test. We're going first starting lineups for the Railers. Visitors on the scoreboard. First man out
6'5" junior number 22
is Aiden Gowan, the sophomore starter for the Railers. Next man out for head coach Neil Alexander, 6'3", and a senior 5 is Paulus, Elijah Paulus. 6'2" and a junior 24 is Biven, Jake Biven. 6'5" and a junior 22, Saucy, Tyler Saucy. And the man in the middle, 6'5", and a junior 34, Cook, Peyton Cook. This guy didn't mess around with the starting lineups here. First man out for the Generals, 6 foot and a senior, number 2, Brylan Phillips. Also in the starting lineup, number 3, he's a 6'3" senior, Jabrin Anderson. 6 foot and a senior, number 10 is Karan Shelley. And the big guy in the middle, I can't see
24,
his number. 24, yeah, 6'3" and a senior, KJ Bond.
You know, Josh, I was thinking they may have, I'm sorry to interrupt, they may have some, if Peyton Cook plays like he's been playing lately, they're going to have trouble matching up against Peyton Cook.
Yeah, they don't have the size, although Bond underneath is 6'3" and built like a lineman, but very active underneath. Railers with a little size advantage here tonight.
Chicago Street Rental tip, and it goes to Lincoln as Cook tipped it into the backcourt to Polis. MacArthur starts in a man-to-man. There's that play under the basket. Good kick out by Cook. 3 on the way. Gowan got it. Up as a 2 is inside the line. Sorry, we've got a banner here in front of us. Blocked our view, but Gowan, no, I take that back. It was a 3. It was a 3. Gowan was behind the line, and it's 3-0 Lincoln with 7:37 to go here in the first quarter.
Yeah, huge Chris Coyne State Farm three-pointer by Gowan to start this game.
MacArthur working it around the perimeter. Shot by Brian Affoloni, missed it. And rebound to Lincoln.
Yeah, long rebound got to Gowan, is tipped away, and then Cook came and got it. So good job on the Railer rebounding so far here in first possession.
Lincoln running a motion offense against the man-to-man. Kick out Gowan. Gowan drives in the lane, kick to Cook. Cook going to take Bond. Cook kick out Saucy. 3 on the way, up and got it. A Chris Coyne State Farm 3 for Tyler Saucy.
Yeah.
6-0 the Lincoln lead.
Couldn't ask for a better start here for the Railers. 2 threes and 2 of them to go down.
Out front, it'll be Phillips. Brylan Phillips is really a kind of a put-together guy. 6 foot, you're right, Josh, stocky but put together.
Yeah, he's a really good basketball player.
Got some interest from SIU and Valpo. Out front to Jabrin Anderson. Those two are running mates. They've done a lot of their scoring this year. Affoloni, Anderson to Affoloni. Back out to Anderson. Anderson, kick to Phillips.
Good job by Biven to run out at him.
Phillips threw the ball over the head of Karan Shelley, the other transfer from Decatur Eisenhower. Goes into the cheerleaders to be Lincoln basketball.
Yeah, quick timeout by Tyrese Bryson as he's going to remind his players that the Railers can shoot it from the outside. And then that time, Phillips with a little bit of a high pass inside. So great job. I thought Jake really sprinted Phillips. Had to be something on the whiteboard in the locker room that Phillips is going to shoot it and he's going to score it.
We're keeping it right here for this Top Hat Creamery timeout. Any time is a great time for ice cream. Why don't you head up to the Arcade Plaza and grab yourself a couple of scoops from Top Hat Creamery. Josh is dreaming about a banana split from Top Hat Creamery right now.
After a W.
Oh, and they've changed the score, so they must have changed Gowan's shot to a 2, Josh.
Yeah, I think so too. We, as you said, we couldn't see it. We knew for sure Saucy's was one.
Right. So, Chris, sorry about that. You lost a 3. But Gowan, we thought he might have been inside the arc. There's a banner right in front of our table here. It's hard to see. Lincoln gets the inbound against the MacArthur pressure. Here comes Saucy. Saucy kicks to Gowan up, and we threw the ball away. Anderson goes Phillips. Phillips, 3 on the way, got it. And right away, the MacArthur pressure pays off. Polis quickly up the floor. Polis, kick out Cook. Cook going to drive it in the lane. Hounded by Karan Shelley. Sassi in trouble, gets it to Cook. Cook, kick out Biven. Biven, kick Gowan. Gowan, long 3, up and no good. Back of the iron. Cook skies for the rebound. Cook, kick out Sassi. Polis going to drive in the lane. Polis looked like he got fouled and they call a jump ball.
Yeah, it looked like he got fouled on the drive. A lot of body contact there, and the officials allow that to happen, allow the reach and the hold here. It's going to be really, really tough for the Railers to get by this pressure man-to-man from MacArthur.
You got that, and we knew this was going to be a physical game coming in here. Anderson and Phillips break the Lincoln pressure. Phillips out front. Gowan comes out to put a little pressure on him, and now the wings extend. Affoloni out front, looked inside. Shelley was open underneath, didn't get the ball to him. Phillips, Affoloni, Anderson going to drive baseline. Anderson underneath the basket. Sassi with the block. Ball on the floor. Anderson kicks it back out. Affoloni out to Phillips, back to Anderson. Anderson corner, Affoloni. Anderson. They're posting the big guy, Bond, in the free throw line. Didn't get the ball to him. Kick on the baseline. Shelley back out front. Phillips long 3. Got it. A second 3 for Brylan Phillips. And it is 6-5, the MacArthur lead. 5:04 to go here in the quarter. Sassi quickly ahead to Biven. Baseline Cook. Good cut to Biven. Biven layup time. Up. No good. Missed the shot. Phillips. And there's the touchdown pass to Anderson. Up and good. Got behind the Lincoln defense. And it's 8-5 MacArthur.
Yeah, it didn't take long, too. That was a quarterback home run touchdown by Phillips.
I don't know where he plays in football. They say he's really good, but maybe he plays quarterback with that pass. Polis kicked to Gowan and the ball through his hands, and here comes MacArthur on the run. 1-on-3. Affoloni threw it up, got it, no good. Rebound Cook. And a timeout going to be taken by Coach Al. It's going to be a 30-second Top Hat Creamery timeout. Josh, let's keep it right here. And I think there's going to be a little discussion going on over here on the sidelines, probably about getting back on defense.
Yeah, I think one of that, that's going to happen, but you got to get out on Phillips. And there's a couple busted plays, really, by MacArthur that Jabrin Anderson was a little bit hungrier for that loose ball, picked it up and moved it around and finally got it to Phillips, which dialed it up for another 3. So I think a couple of times, too, this Raider team is doing a good job of cutting to the basket, but it's not going to be open all the time. And we've seen one cut by Biven, got him a layup, missed it, but that time the Railers tried to force it in, I think, to Saucy cutting the ball or cutting to the basket, and it just wasn't open.
Josh, the other thing is if we drive to the basket, we're not going to be able to kick it out all the time. We've got to try and draw some contact and get them in foul trouble.
Yeah, we got to try and score layups, and that'll stop that pressure quicker than anything.
Saucy to Gowan, and the Railers break the press. Gowan looked like he got fouled by number 4 in a basketball game. That's Azarian Richardson. Gowan, Richardson on him. MacArthur playing a very tight man-to-man. Out front, Polis. Polis guarded by Shelley. Polis, Sassi. Sassi in the corner, Biven. Biven out front, Gowan to Cook. Railers working on the perimeter. Cook drives in briefly, goes to Gowan in the corner. Gowan drives in the lane. Nice pump fake. 8-footer up front of the iron, no good. Rebound, Azarian Richardson.
Man, it looked like Gowan got hit on the arm on the shot.
Phillips going to load up again. Another 3 out front. He got 3 in a row. It is 11-5 Decatur MacArthur. And Brylan Phillips put on a show from three-point land. Lincoln still in the backcourt. Polis. Now MacArthur pulls their press back just a little bit.
Yeah, I think once you break that first initial trap, it's kind of MacArthur tries to kind of move it back a little bit.
Cook, 30 feet from the basket. Biven. Biven drives down the lane. Biven, I think he got fouled a couple of times. No call. And KJ Bond rebounds the missed shot. Here comes MacArthur the other way, and they're not wasting any time. Shelley out front, Anderson. Phillips, back to Anderson, back to Phillips. Phillips, long cross-court pass, Karan Shelley. Shelley, Anderson. Kick out, Phillips. Phillips, another 3, and got it. That's 4 threes for Brylan Phillips. Here in the first quarter, it's 14-5. Josh, Lincoln needs a bucket right now.
Yeah, and Anderson did a good job of driving into the middle, and where he was, Biven can't go in and help. He's got to stay out on Phillips.
Biven out front to Cook. Polis tries to drive in. Blocked by Richardson. Cook. Saucy, good cut, good pass, layup time, got it. 14-7. 2:30 to go here in the first quarter.
Yeah, if the Railers can weather this storm and keep it within 5 points, as hot as Phillips has been to start this game, will be a huge win for the Railers.
14-7. MacArthur. Phillips, yet another three, up and no good. Rebound, Cook. Cook took it away from Bond under the basket. Polis against Shelley. Here comes the MacArthur pressure, and ball knocked out of bounds by Anderson, and it's going to stay Lincoln basketball.
Yeah, and one thing MacArthur is doing is they're screening Gowan at the top, so then Bivin has to come over and help Jabrin after the screen, and then he's got a wide open kick to Phillips. So the Railers are going to have to either stay underneath that screen and have Gowan stay underneath and guard Anderson so that Bivin can stay out on Phillips.
We have an officials timeout here on the floor. Let's go ahead and keep it right here. Remind you of our billboard sponsors. Mike Moskey Auction Service. Phone 217-519-3950 line. Go to moskeyauction.com. Top Hat Creamery. Stop by before or after the game for a sweet treat in Lincoln's Arcade Building. Me Realty, located at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, whether buying or selling. Trusted professionals on Me Realty. For more information, check out merealty.com. Heartland Community College is Lincoln's community college. At Heartland, you'll get the personal attention and support you need to be a successful student. Discover Heartland, discover your future. Visit heartland.edu/Lincoln. Worth & Associates Realtors, honest, caring realtors serving Lincoln and Logan County since 1974. Go online to worthrealtors.com or call 217-735-3411. Our streaming live video sponsors, Sal Polis, Financial Advisor Edward Jones, Town and Country Bank, and of course, Me Realty. All Railer three-pointers sponsored by Chris Coyne, State Farm Insurance.
You better get a drink after that quickness.
I think so.
You're going as fast as MacArthur.
I know. That was tough, man.
Conway will check in. Nelson will check in for Bivin. Conway checking in for Gowan here.
They put in McKee Wright, their 6'6 junior. And Nelly in the basketball game along with Conway. There's Saucy out front. Saucy looking. And now the Railers go into the way. There goes Cook down the lane, running one-hander from 10 feet. Didn't get it. Ball knocked out of bounds by MacArthur.
Yeah, good drive by Cook, though. One more dribble and see if he can get a little closer to the rim, though. But they took out Bond, who did a good job on Cook with his strength now. A little bit of same size here, as you see right on the court between the two here.
Good cut. Polis missed the layup. Ball. Nelson grabs it out of there. Cook. Saucy, kick out Conway to Polis. Cook, the cutter in the lane. Polis, hounded by Phillips. Nelson, kick to Conway. Conway, Saucy going to drive down, kick out Nelson. Nelson, three on the way. He was set, didn't get the shot down. Saucy with a nice rebound. Saucy kicks it out, Cook. Cook back to Polis. Lincoln resets the offense. Conway to Cook. Cook going to try and take right. Kick back out to Nelson to Saucy, the three on the way, and got it. Big shot, Tyler gets it, 14-10.
Oh, Saucy with
State Farm three.
Yeah, 8 of the 10 for the Railers, and a big basket there. As you said, we got to keep this thing close here in the third quarter. Phillips has got 4 threes already.
14-10, the MacArthur lead. 1:02 to go here in the first quarter. Josh, and there's a shot by Richardson. He got the three. 17-10. 54 seconds to go in the quarter. Polis quickly ahead to Nelson. Nelson kick back out Saucy. Saucy, the kick to Conway. Cook baseline. Back out front, Polis. Dangerous pass there. Out front to Nelson. Nelson, Conway in the corner, Saucy. Saucy, Polis. Cook. Cook drives Saucy. Tyler going to drive it in. Tyler, 10-footer, stop and pop up, no good. Rebound, MacArthur. Rebound to Christopher Walker in the basketball game for Decatur. Phillips ahead to Brian Affalone.
Yeah, Affalone, that's the guy that made the three last possession, so they've now got off his leg, yeah.
And Conway with the knock off of Affalone's leg with 18.5 seconds to go. You know, Josh, wouldn't feel too bad if we went in at the end of the quarter down only 5.
Yeah, you're right. A big basket here as 18.5 seconds to go. And Saucy will check out. Bivin will come back in.
Polis, the basketball in the backcourt. Looks over at Coach Greg Alexander. Polis across the timeline. Kick to Conway. Conway, the kick to Bivin. And there's the screen to Cook in the corner. Cook, three on the way. No good. Short. Rebound to number 4, Richardson. Throws up a 40-footer at the gun. No, nearly got it. And at the end of one quarter, it's MacArthur 17, Lincoln 10. We'll be back after this 60-second word from our sponsors. back at MacArthur High School where the Generals lead the Rail Splitters 17-10. And I'll tell you what, Josh, that first quarter for MacArthur was all the Brylan Phillips show. What do you have, 4 threes there in the first quarter alone?
Yeah, 4 threes for Phillips. Fallon had 3, and also Jabrin Anderson with a touchdown for only 2 in the basketball game, but he had a long pass to him to convert on a layup. So, yeah, you talk about the quickness, the shooting ability of MacArthur. And, you know, we've talked about what hurts the Railer 1-2-2 all season long. Guys in the middle, guys that can shoot on the outside. And then, of course, that quickness factor is about all 3 of what MacArthur has.
And we had some turnovers there in the first quarter Lincoln didn't need to have. Conway, the basketball, as Lincoln has the ball, starts second quarter. Bivin, Cook looking to take Wright with his hands all over him. Cook, kick out Conway. Conway kick to Nelson. Nelson drives in, stopped, kick out Bivin. Back to Nelly. In the corner, Conway, Polis, wide open 3, up and no good, short. Rebound, McKee, Wright pulls it out of there. 17-10, 7:35 to go, MacArthur up 7. Affoloni, and ball knocked away by Nelson. Good hands by Cam Nelson out front. Knocked the ball out of bounds.
Yeah, McKee, Wright. Good looking size there for the junior, 6'6", 225.
Chase Cunningham in the basketball game, number 12 for MacArthur.
Coach.
And stolen by Conway. Conway 1-on-3 and wisely pulls it back out to Polis. Out front, Bivin to Nelson, Cook. Conway to Bivin. You know, we haven't seen that clear out for Elijah on the left side yet, Josh.
No, we've not seen that. And
ball lost out of bounds by Cam Nelson. And Coach Al just throws up a hand over on the sideline. 7:04 to go. MacArthur still up 7, 17-10.
Yeah, a couple possessions now. Empty possessions for the Railers. And you know the hot shooting that MacArthur can put on you in a hurry, that you can't have a lot of empty possessions here.
No, and right now they got most of their starters out of the basketball game as well.
Tyrese Bryson not afraid to go to the bench and go to a bunch of them.
Affoloni, ball nearly stolen out front. Gets it to Richardson. Richardson's made 1-3, running one-hander up, no good. Ball batted around. Richardson came out of there with it. Affoloni shot out front, up, no good. Ball batted around. Wright picked it up, no good. Cook finally hauls it out of there.
Yeah, Railers got lucky there. A nice rebound by Wright, but then a really aggressive rebound on the second chance by Cook.
Conway, kick in the corner, Bivin out front, Cook, Conway drives in, thought about a 15-footer, kicks it out, Nelson, 3 on the way, he got fouled, and the harm, the Chris Coyne State Farm 3 goes. The foul is on Christopher Walker, his first.
And I'll tell you who made that play was Conway. He dribbled right into the middle like he was going to go to the basket, and Nelly's man helped off on him, and Conway with a great unselfish pass out to Nelly, and Nelly able to line it up. He's going to go to the line for the non-traditional 4-point play.
Cam Nelson knocks down the free throw. The lead is 3. That is the first foul. I think that's the first foul on anybody. Yes, it is.
Yeah, first foul. There's not going to be a whole lot of them called here tonight, doesn't look like to me.
Affoloni out front as MacArthur spreads the floor quite a bit on Lincoln, starting their offense quite far out. Affoloni goes in the corner. Cunningham, he drives baseline. Kick out to Richardson. 3 on the way. Got it. Credit them with the nice play off the baseline and the kick out front, and Richardson nails the shot. 20-14.
Yeah, Zarian Richardson, a 6'1 junior.
Polis, the basketball out front. Conway, Cook. Back to Polis. Polis going to drive it in. 15-footer up and no good. Rebound, nothing but MacArthur shirts under the basket. Wright pulls it out of there. Richardson. Affoloni back to Richardson. In the corner, Cunningham. Back out front, Richardson. Affoloni.
They haven't done a whole lot inside. They got the big boy right in there. They have just been raining threes.
And an air ball shot up, and Bivin tried to save it. I think he knocked it off of MacArthur. Out of bounds, Lincoln basketball.
You know, it's not been their ability to drive into the teeth of the 1-2-2. It's just been the driving in and kicking out, similar to what the Railers try to do to line up shooters, and they've just been able to shoot the basketball.
Saucy looking to get it inbounds. Here comes the MacArthur pressure, gets it to Polis. And now MacArthur will go strict man-to-man pressure as Affoloni riding Polis down the floor. Conway, Cook, 20-14, 5:09 to go here in the first quarter. Polis, kick back to Cookie. Cook going to drive in against Wright, gets it to Conway. And lost the ball. Conway loses it to Affoloni. Yet another unforced turnover. Here comes MacArthur. Anderson up and good. 22-14, the MacArthur lead.
Yeah, turnovers lead to points real fast for the Generals.
Quickly ahead to Nelson in the corner. He didn't take the shot. Out front, Polis to Conway. Conway kick to Nelson. Nelson kick Conway in the corner. Conway with a nice pump fake. Kick out to Polis. Polis the long three. Short. Rebound, MacArthur. Phillips pulls it out of there. Quickly ahead to Anderson. Anderson quickly up the floor against Saucy. Layup missed. Cook had it and was knocked out of bounds by Wright.
And another foul. That looked like the Railers might have got away with one there. Saucy went up and no call as Anderson went up to shoot the layup.
Aiden Gowan back in the basketball game for Lincoln. Karan Shelley coming back in for Decatur MacArthur. Again, if you just joined us, it's 22-14 MacArthur. MacArthur's about shooting the lights out from three-point land.
Well, the Railers got it to within 5 there, and MacArthur has made a little run here.
Cook, baseline, 10-footer up, no good. Shot it over everything. Rebound out of there, Richardson. Richardson to Phillips. Phillips back to Richardson. To Phillips. Inside right, 15-foot turnaround, up and good, nothing but net. The big kid hits one from the free throw line, and Lincoln nearly threw the ball away, inbounding it on the other end. 24-14, the MacArthur lead is 10.
Yeah, it was a quick run by MacArthur as they've put it on, and we've had those empty possessions we talked about earlier on where we're getting some shots, we're getting some jump shots, and a game like this, when they're scoring the way they are right now, you've got to match them.
A Top Hat Creamery timeout here at Decatur MacArthur High School. Josh, that double-digit lead worries me. We don't really have the firepower to come back from a big hole, and we've dug ourselves some holes in this year and some of the losses that we've had.
Well, and you give yourself a chance because it's early here and just in the second quarter, but it looks like the way MacArthur, and things can change in a hurry, but the way they're looking, they can shoot the basketball. It's just not one guy. They've got Phillips, and they've got a three already by Richardson. Affalone's got a three, and then you've got the 6'3", maybe their most athletic kid, Jabrin Anderson. He's got 4, but he just that long, lanky, left-handed. He gets out on the break, and he's been tough for us to stop.
We've got 4 minutes to go here in the half, and MacArthur's up 10. You'd like to think if we can keep this, say, less than 10 going into halftime, we kind of chip away maybe at this a little bit. But you also wonder, too, would they turn around sometime in the third quarter, start pulling it out and make us chase?
I'm sure they've done it, and I'm not sure they didn't do it in Collinsville a little bit also. So, yeah, that's something in the back of your mind. You always got to wonder if you're a Railer fan because of the 1-2-2 zone is hard for us to go after them.
Lincoln the basketball. Saucy hounded by Shelley. He is really hounded out front. Gets it to Cook. Cook, they do a lot of switching out front too, Josh.
Yeah, any handoff, they're switching it.
And a timeout called by Neil Alexander. Cook was in danger of a 5-second call, so the Top Hat Creamery timeout. Let's keep it right here.
Yeah, and anytime they jump that handoff, that guy that hands off has got to cut back, or right before the handoff, that guy that's going to receive the handoff's got to go cut to the basket, and I think there'll be some openings there. But they're so quick, and they're really well schooled in switching that handoff. That's, when I played and back when you were there, and nobody handed the ball off. It's all handoff now. There's hardly any screening unless they're running a set, and that's not. You haven't seen a lot of that from the Railers yet so far. Is running their set plays to get into their offense or to get a shot.
Josh, that was probably one of the first times we've looked hesitant all evening so far in this basketball game. Other times we run our offense fairly well. We've gotten good looks. We just haven't shot the ball particularly well.
Well, and they've ran two different guys at Elijah Paulus. How long can he withstand this pressure?
And there's pressure right there. Shelley knocked the ball away. Oh, Richardson's going to get the layup. Paulus is going to get the foul. And Elijah did. First foul on Paulus. First team foul on Lincoln. And Azarian Richardson goes to the free throw line with a chance for the and one. Jake Biven back in the basketball game for Cam Nelson. Richardson at the free throw line. First one up, or the only one up and got it. 26-14.
It rolled around the rim, and they haven't missed a whole lot yet here tonight.
Correction, 27-14. They're up 13 with 3:30 to go. Folks, this is a team we might meet again if we make it to the sectional.
one thing Saucy's not doing either. On a made basket, the guy that's taking the ball out of bounds can run the baseline, and he's yet to do that. Something that coaches got to get Tyler to do.
Bivens lost the ball, scrambled forward, got it to Cook. Cook down the lane, got fouled, no call. Rebound, Bivens skied for it, and the ball's going to go out of bounds to Lincoln. Josh, a lot of contact when Peyton went in there.
I would think, though. Looked like a lot of body and some up at top,
little lob to Cook. Cook tried to go up against KJ Bond. Got hacked. Ball taken away from him. And it's 27-14. MacArthur with the basketball. Therese Bryson's going to take a timeout. A Top Hat Creamery timeout taken by Therese Bryson. Let's send it back to the station for a 30-second word from one of our sponsors. This is Raider Basketball on WLCN FM 96.3. (27-14), the MacArthur lead with 3:02 to go here at Decatur MacArthur. MacArthur to inbound the basketball off of the Lincoln turnover. Anderson into Phillips. Gowan hounds him in the backcourt. Now the Raiders going to put on the three-quarter court zone press. Across the timeline to Affoloni. Affoloni, and they're spreading the floor right now. Look at this, Josh, really spreading the floor out. They pulled everybody out from the arc. And are they going to try and shorten the game here in the first half? Right now, they don't show any inclination to making a move toward the basket. They're pulling us out, hoping to get our. And there comes our pack line out front, and now they start moving a little bit out front. Anderson against Gowan, and Anderson holds the ball right out near the timeline. Anderson kick back out. Phillips. Phillips back to Anderson. Anderson Phillips. Anderson. Phillips to Anderson. Anderson, Phillips. Lincoln starting to put a little more pressure on the ball, and now Karan Shelley posts at the center at the free throw line. Shelley goes back to the corner. Anderson and Phillips just playing catch out with it out here, and they run almost a minute off the clock. Phillips out front, Affoloni. Affoloni, Phillips. Phillips, Anderson. Anderson back to Phillips. Well, Josh, here's your argument for the shot clock.
Yeah, I would say this is about as bad at 2 minutes and 20 seconds, and you start holding the ball here when you're on. I mean, you're scoring the ball well. I don't know why. I mean, I get it if you got foul trouble or you can't score the ball here, but
and they nearly threw the ball away there. Phillips is fouled by Gowan 40 feet from the basket. That'll be the first foul on Gowan, second on Lincoln. Yeah, if the shot clock goes into effect and you hear coaches complain, I don't want to hear them say anything because this is the reason right here. Anderson nearly threw the ball away, did throw the ball away. Lincoln couldn't grab a hold of it. Cunningham gets it back to Anderson. Anderson,
they're
Phillips.
just quicker to the ball, too.
Phillips threw the ball away into the stands. Well, they held the ball for almost 2 minutes and ended up with a turnover.
Yeah, it's fourth quarter, I get it, but
but not in the second quarter.
Even when you're scoring the ball well, pretty much.
I mean, you're playing well, and I don't know that it does much for your team. Polis, the basketball, now gets it into the front court. Polis picked up his dribble, gets it to Gowan. Gowan out front, Saucy. Polis in the corner, three on the way. Got it. A Chris Coyne State Farm three. Big shot, Elijah Polis. The lead knocked back to 10. 27-17. The Lincoln deficit is 10. 42 seconds to go here in the first half.
Yeah, I like the Railers' response there as they turned up the pressure to get the turnover and then come down and get a big three. So a big stop, a little bit of a momentum stop here. Here to go into halftime, they decided to hold it, and then they now are going to hold it again here for the last shot. So you can get a stop here, make sure the Railers rebound, and go in with a 10-point deficit. You like where you're at. Anderson, way out front.
7 seconds ago, they nearly threw the ball away again. Phillips is going to have to make a play here. Phillips going to drive in, step back three, a long one, didn't get it, rebound, nobody gets it. At the end of the first half, it is MacArthur 27, Lincoln 17. We'll be back with the Schneider Chiropractic and Brow Incorporated halftime show after this 2-minute word from our sponsors. Josh Connick with the Brow Incorporated Schneider Chiropractic halftime show here from MacArthur High School. MacArthur's dance team is putting on an exhibition here at center court with MacArthur leading 27-17 on their senior night. Josh, no doubt about it, they came out tonight fired up. We got off to a pretty good start, but they erased that lead very quickly.
Yeah, you're right. They and really attributed to Phillips, who got it going early on. He had 4 threes in the first quarter. Didn't score in the second, but once he got it going, the confidence started rolling, and the Railers, all in all, they had those big runs. They shot it well. They were able to get to the basket and get some easy putbacks, but we hung close. A 10-point deficit here at halftime. It could have been worse. Coach Bryson from Decatur wanted to hold the ball a little bit, and it kind of backfired on him. We got a turnover, we got a 3 to get it within 10, and then we got a big stop here right before the end of halftime.
At one time, we cut the lead when Nelson had the 4-point play. We cut the lead, I believe, to 17-13 or 17-14. Then they went on a little bit of a run, and Elijah Polis hit a big 3 out of the corner here to cut the deficit to 10. Josh, I would imagine you'd want to get off to a good start here to start the third quarter and try and chip into that lead a little bit, because they've shown they will hold the ball on us as they did here in the second quarter.
Yeah, and they might start that right away. It wasn't something that I'd have done as well as they were scoring the ball on the offensive end, but that's what they chose to do, and it got us a big turnover and then a 3. So, you got to come out early, because a couple threes and it becomes a 12, 14, 16-point lead where it's just something we just can't come back from.
No, and we can't afford to have empty possessions to start the third quarter either. We had quite a few in the first half where we'd come down, run our offense, and turn the ball over or get nothing out of it. Josh, why don't you go ahead and give us the first half scoring?
Yeah, first for MacArthur, they were led in the first half by Brylan Phillips. Phillips with 4 3-pointers. Zarian Richards for Jabrin Anderson. 3 for Brian Afalon, and 2 for Mackay Wright off the bench. They've got just two turnovers. I thought they did a pretty good job of handling the ball, but then they made quite a few shots, so that made it look a lot better. The Railers were led by Tyler Saucy in the first half. Saucy with 8 points, all of those in the first quarter. 4 points for Camden Nelson, 3 for Elijah Paulus on that big 3 to end the half, and 2 points off the first shot of the game by Aiden Gowan. So again, the Railers down 27-17 here at halftime. We'll send it back to the studios for a couple minutes here in the Ground Incorporated and Schneider Chiropractic halftime show, and you're listening to Lincoln Railer basketball.
Lincoln down 10 at halftime to Decatur MacArthur. Both teams back on the floor. In case you didn't know it, the girls won last night 71-27 in their opening game of their regional against Danville. Chloe Froby had, I believe, 24 in that game as she returned. And the girls played exceptionally well from what I saw in the highlights. They will play for a regional championship on Thursday night over at Champaign Central against a team they've already faced and beaten early in the year, Champaign Centennial. And as Josh told you earlier, our last regular season game will be here on Thursday night on WLCN FM 96.3 and, of course, on our live stream. Josh Connick and Scott Kirby will have the call against the Bulldogs of Muhammad Seymour, who will throw a new look at us when they come to Lincoln. Their big kid, Luke Kohler, is back. Josh, I don't know if he's very physical or not. He's big, I know that.
Yeah, I think he got injured last year in the COVID year a little bit last year where we just didn't, the schedule was messed up. He got hurt early, and I think it's rehabbed really all since last year and hasn't hardly played at all this year. And, boy, you add 6'9" to any kind of lineup, and it's got to be a big help.
Yeah, with a condensed year last year, he got hurt early on, and there just wasn't much time for him to get healed and come back, and obviously it extended into this year, but I'm sure they're on cloud nine to have their big kid back, especially be able to throw that against us. You know, one thing, Josh, I noticed from the first half statistics you gave, and it's not anything you want to put on the young man, but Peyton Cook, no points. They've done a job on him. They've double, triple teamed him at times. They've bumped him when he's gone up for shots. They've kind of forced him out of his comfort zone for offense, and we need Peyton Cook to get some buckets here in the second half.
Yeah, I thought he was aggressive. I thought he was active to the basket. He was active on the boards with probably 4 or 5 rebounds, but you're right. He had a nice drive down the lane, didn't get the, running 5-footer to go, but for the most part, I thought he was active. It wasn't lack to get there, but again, you're talking about where Bond is 6'3", probably 220, at least 230, and it's hard for it. It doesn't seem like when I played muscle and strength was that big of a deal. I guess it probably was, but man, has it really become more and more. The more the officials allow you to do with the hands and the body becomes the strength part of it becomes such an advantage.
I'll tell you what, I don't want to bring up another bad memory for you, but boy, Luis Rivas for Quincy was one strong dude. But you're right. I don't think the game, and you can correct me because you played it, but I don't think the game was as physical when you played as it is now, because I think officials would call a lot of more fouls back then.
Yeah, and
what they do now.
Well, you had to be conscious of it. You know, you were always concerned about foul trouble, and now it doesn't seem that the officials allow you to hang on and claw. And I think that's why Elijah hasn't been able to get to the hoop. The guy's got his arm on him, and he just can't get around him. And that's not right. You've got to get the offense a chance. And you watch it in college, and it's even worse there. But, yes, it is tough sledding on that offensive end.
All right, officials trying to get the MacArthur fans off the floor here as we start the third quarter. Lincoln down 27-17. MacArthur has the basketball in the backcourt to Phillips. Phillips across to Affolone, back out front, Phillips. Phillips lob pass, and a dunk shot by Anderson as they got behind the Lincoln defense. 29-17, the MacArthur lead.
Yeah, it was almost the same play that the Railers run with a back screen, and it looked like a shot.
Back door to Bivin. Bivin down the lane, layup time, got fouled.
Well, nice play there by the Railers, and as Paula spins and looks like he's going to pass it with his usual pump fake, and got the MacArthur
Christopher Walker with
Walker in the air and gets a foul, and Bivin up with the first free throw.
Yeah, the 6'2" junior nails the first free throw. Jake Bivin nails them both.
Nice answer by the Railers. Quick alley-oop dunk by MacArthur. MacArthur steps over the end line. So turnover by MacArthur to get it going here, but a good answer by the Railers to get those 2 points back.
I thought I saw that, but wasn't sure. It's one of those things you go, did I see what I just saw? Yeah, McKee Wright stepped over the end line trying to inbound the basketball, and the official right there and caught it. Sassi out front to Polis. Polis to Sassi. Sassi, Gowan. Gowan back to Sassi.
And Anderson all over Bivin. He can't get loose to get open.
Polis, kick to Cook. Cook, Gowan. Gowan going to drive it baseline. Looks to kick back out to somebody. Cook wide open three out of the corner. No good. Rebound, Anderson. Anderson. Gowan, I believe this is going to be his second foul, and the team's first of the second half on Lincoln.
Yeah, Gowan will check out.
Conway back in for Gowan. Lincoln down 10, 7-10 to go here in the third quarter. Affolone out front, and MacArthur going into a spread 2-1-2 offense against the Lincoln zone. And now they bring McKee Wright out front. Phillips, long cross-court pass to Anderson. They go inside Wright. Wright, ball on the floor, put it down, and Lincoln went for it, nearly got it. Anderson picks it up. Phillips inside to Wright again. Wright, 10-foot turnaround up, no good. Rebound, Sassi hauls it out of there.
Boy, but how many of those 50-50 balls has MacArthur gotten tonight, Jay? And we just haven't been able to grab them.
Sassi nearly traveling, and he's in a lot of trouble, folks. Sassi's in trouble, gets it to Conway. Conway nearly stepped across the half-court line. Now to Cook. Their pressure really bothering us. Bounce pass to Sassi from Cook. Back out to Cook. Cook goes down the lane. Spin move. Got hacked And I think he might have been bailed out a little bit there.
Yeah, although a good aggressive move, nice spin move there by Cook, and he had a wide open three, and I think what bothers me a little bit is Peyton was hesitant to take it again because of the air ball in the corner. Didn't want to do it again, but he did a good job of driving the hoop and going to go to the line here.
Christopher Walker with his third foul, and he did block that ball with a hand cleanly, but got Cook with the body. We'll take it. Cook misses the first of 2 free throws. 6'5" junior at the free throw line. Second one, Rainbow up and got it.
First points for Cook here on the night.
Lincoln down 9, 29-20, 6:21 to go here in the third quarter. MacArthur still in the backcourt, having very little trouble with the Lincoln pressure at this point. Anderson out front, Phillips. Phillips going to drive in, look to kick to somebody, kicks it back Shelley. Shelley to Anderson. Anderson corner Affalone. Anderson inside right. 8-foot turnaround up, no good. Got his own rebound up, no good. Sassi came down with it, and it's going to be a jump.
Taylor's got away with one there too. Wright with a couple point-blank shots and missed it, and then Tyler in for the rebound to tie him up. So the ball will go back to the Railers.
Into Conway. Conway handoff to Sassi. Sassi hesitated just a bit, now kicks it across the court to Biven. Biven, Conway. Conway going to drive it in. Pass to Cook through his hands. I'm not sure Peyton was expecting that. Polis, kick in the corner, Cook. Cook going to drive again on Wright. Cook up and Wright fouled him.
Yeah.
Good aggressive move by Peyton Cook.
Yeah, and you saw that last. Paulus was going to pass it, or did pass it to Peyton, but Paulus tried to get around his guy, and 5. Affalone just doing a great job of using his body and quickness to keep Elijah out of the lane.
Cook gets the first free throw, 29-21. The MacArthur lead is 8. 5:39 to go.
Cook 2 of 3 from the line so far.
Number 34 at the free throw line. Eyes it up and missed it. Rebound, battle underneath, and Anderson pulls it out of there. Anderson to Phillips. Back to Anderson. In the corner, Affalone. Back out front, Anderson. Anderson, Phillips. Anderson. Looked like he almost traveled there for a second. Phillips. Phillips kicking the corner, Affalone. Affalone, Anderson. Anderson, Phillips. In the corner, Shelley. Phillips, they go inside right, and ball knocked away again by Lincoln. Sassi with great hands to Cook.
Yeah, Phillips tried to thread the needle into right, and again the Railers with good hands to keep it out of the middle.
Sassi going to drive around his man, kick it to Polis. Polis, 8-foot turnaround on the baseline, no good. Tough shot by Elijah, falling away from the basket. Conway going to get called with a foul in the backcourt. That'll be the first on Jalen Conway. Team second. 4:55 to go here in the third quarter. Tyrese Bryson going to his bench, taking McKee Wright out of the basketball game.
Yeah, Bond really hasn't played since the first couple minutes of the game.
No, he hasn't. Anderson across the timeline to Affalone. Affalone back to Anderson. Anderson goes inside to number 20, Walker. Walker lost the basketball, and Cook comes out of there with it.
Cook, I think early on in the season, that tip away would have gotten tipped away from Cook after he grabbed it, but Peyton much more sure-handed right now.
Conway the pop out. Conway looking for somebody, gets it to Polis. Inside Cook, and Cook was fouled from behind by Walker. No call. The long pass to Anderson. Anderson, and blocked by Biven. Might have got away with one there, Josh. 29-21. The MacArthur lead. Sassi against Shelley. Goes to Biven. Biven to Sassi. Sassi, 10-foot stop. Up and good. 29-23. Lincoln chipping away at the lead.
Yeah, you see the Railers just keep fighting.
4 minutes to go here in the third quarter. The MacArthur lead is 6. Has Phillips shot the ball since the first quarter? I don't think he has.
I think he tempted that one there.
Oh, there it is from the volleyball line. 3 off the iron, and Biven gets knocked to the ground. No call. Anderson's going to come in, and all sorts of bodies all down. Anderson got it again. Cook up for it. Cook, battle for it. Conway comes out of there with it. Wow.
Yeah, no foul called there.
Hard to believe, and the Lincoln bench is up yelling. Polis across the timeline. Polis going to go down the lane, battling his man. Conway out front, going to go down the lane, layup time. Jalen missed it, tip Cook, good! 29-25, the MacArthur lead. Therese Bryson's going to get a timeout as Lincoln has cut the lead to 4 with 3:14 to go here in the third quarter. It is a full timeout, a full Top Hat Creamery timeout. Let's send it back to the station for 30 seconds. This is Railer Basketball on WLCN FM. Lincoln was down 10, 27-17 to start the third quarter and has outscored MacArthur 8-2 to cut the lead to 4, 3:14 to go here in the third quarter. Josh, pace has kind of slowed down more to Lincoln's style than MacArthur's.
Yeah, we've been able to get back, and, we've been strong on the boards. MacArthur has missed some point-blank shots that they got to go in the first half, and the Railers just keep clawing, and it doesn't look pretty sometimes on the offensive end, but their defense kind of makes that happen. And we just find a way to get a cut here and a score here. Cook with a tip-in offensive rebound. So, man, you got to love the fight with the guys in the red right now because they could have very easily folded at halftime, down 10. I think they come away with the alley-oop dunk to make it 12, and then the Railers just answer and have been on a little run here since.
Tyler Saucy, that last basket, I think threw him into double figures for this game with 10.
Yep.
Tyler Saucy in double figures, and the lid may have lifted off for Peyton Cook as well, knocking some free throws down and getting that tip in. So Lincoln going to extend the pressure in the backcourt just a little bit more. Affolone throws it across to Anderson. Anderson back to Affolone. They get it across the timeline. Out front to Anderson. Anderson Phillips. MacArthur has only a couple people below the free throw line. Anderson kick out in the corner. Richardson misses the three. Ball on the floor. Richardson had it and Saucy fouled it on the floor.
There's one of those 50-50 balls that we haven't been able to get. We saw some in the first half where the ball's on the floor and MacArthur with the quicker hands and the Railers a little bit more aggressive there. And Tyler with a nice box out underneath. He was holding his guy off, but yet he was also trying to rebound the basketball. More Railers got to fly to the ball.
MacArthur inbound under their basket. Looked for the lob for a second to Anderson. Now kicks it out front to Affolone. Affolone, Phillips. After 4 threes in the first quarter, Brylan Phillips has attempted one here in the third quarter and missed it. Inside Anderson. Oh, and Anderson blew the bunny, and Cook gets the rebound. Cook in a little bit of trouble. Gets it to Paulus. Paulus fouled. Oh, and he was bumped out of bounds. They're going to call him out of bounds, and Neil Alexander can't believe it. So MacArthur will inbound the basketball again under their own basket. Phillips kicks out front, Affolone.
Yeah, you talk about Phillips not shooting many shots. He hasn't taken a 2 yet. It's been all from the three-point land.
Phillips, long cross-court pass, Affolone in the corner to Richardson. Richardson, the long cross-court pass to Phillips, and he stepped on the sideline.
Yeah, and you start to see the generals barking at each other a little bit, and I think the Railers are in a really good situation right here where they've got to take advantage of these past possessions where MacArthur just hasn't been able to score.
Boy, Therese Bryson is intense on the sideline, folks. He is really out there yelling at his charges. Cook in a little trouble out front. Conway going to go down the lane. Conway throws up the layup, got blocked by Anderson. Ball on the floor, and they are very quick to the basketball as Shelley grabs the rebound. Shelley to Affolone. Affolone around his man. Kick along cross court. Phillips. Phillips going to come in for the 2. Ran into Cook, and they count the basket. Foul is on Peyton Cook. And Josh, I thought he was set. What do I know?
Yeah, I don't know if he was set, but Phillips created the contact, which all good offensive players should do that. But I thought Cook was pretty well straight up.
32-25, the MacArthur lead, back to 7. Phillips, the three-point play. Nelson still in the backcourt with Polis quickly ahead to Conway. They break the pressure. Conway in trouble out front, and Conway had the ball stripped. Phillips behind the back dribble. They're 1-on-3. Phillips, a great fake on Polis. Didn't get the bucket. Shelley up, no good. Rebound MacArthur up. Affalone, number 5, gets the bucket. 34-25. Just like that, it's back to a 9-point lead. Nelson inbounds Conway. Conway nearly lost the basketball. Quickly ahead to Polis. Polis stopped, pick up his dribble to Conway. To Cook, baseline. Cook going to drive baseline. Layup, got it. 34-27. The lead cut back to 7. 1:16 to go here in the third quarter.
Yeah, Cook with a good quarter here in the third.
Anderson across to Phillips. Phillips to Anderson. Anderson, Phillips. Phillips out near the timeline, and MacArthur may be content to try and play for the last shot of the quarter. 57 seconds to go, and MacArthur up 7. And they look to be content. They're holding the ball out near the timeline. Phillips and Affalone playing catch with it. And now Conway will go out and start to trigger some action. Shelley, out front Affalone, out front Phillips. 37 seconds to go. Again, MacArthur trying to bring the Lincoln defense out, as Conway will come out and put a little harassment to Affalone. Now goes out and checks on Phillips. Affalone, Phillips. Anderson post at the free throw line. Azarian Richardson in the corner. Karan Shelley in this corner. As Affalone has the ball with 11 seconds to go out front. Looks for the screen. They go to Phillips. Polis nearly had the steal. Phillips down baseline. Shelley lays it up and in. And that'll end the quarter with MacArthur up 9, 36-27 on Lincoln. We'll be back in 60 seconds. Back at MacArthur, where they lead 36-27. Josh, we got close 29-25, and then MacArthur's been on a little bit of a run.
Yeah, you're right. We got it. It was a 10-point at half, and it got to 12, and then the Railers with a nice response there for most of the third quarter, and then all of a sudden, MacArthur gets a couple baskets underneath and gets this thing right back to 9. So as well as the Railers played in the third quarter, you only made a 1-point difference.
MacArthur will have the basketball to start the fourth quarter. And Josh, they showed a propensity in the second quarter, and again there at the end of the third quarter, to slow the game down and pull the ball out.
Yeah, you got to think that they're going to do this again here and make the Railers come out and guard. 14 fouls on the Railers, 3 on the Generals.
So MacArthur now into the front court. And again, they go into a spread 2-1-2 offense against the Lincoln 1-2-2 zone, and they're just playing catch with it right now out front. Now it looks like they're going to attack. They go inside Anderson. Anderson muscles in on Cook. Kick back out Cunningham. 3 on the way up. No good. Rebound. Long rebound goes to MacArthur. Nelson stole the ball away to Gowan. Gowan. The kick back out Cook. Cook looking for somebody. And now Cook's going to take it in the lane. Looking for somebody. Still looking. And got hacked from behind. Gets it to Polis. Polis down the lane. Got fouled. On the floor. And that'll be the 4th foul on MacArthur. Looks like it's going to go against number 12, Cunningham. His first, team's 4th. Nelson will inbound the basketball under the Lincoln basket, looking for somebody to get it into. A long pass out front, Polis. Polis starts the Lincoln offense, gets it to Cook. Cook, they look for Sassi. Sassi tried to muscle Anderson out of the way, and Anderson knocked the ball out of bounds. 7:13 to go here in the basketball game. Nelson inbound in front of the Lincoln bench. Greg Alexander up shouting instructions. Nelly looks, gets it to Polis in the backcourt. Polis hounded by Phillips. Josh, Elijah Polis is going to know he's been in a basketball game tonight. Probably think he's been in a football game with the bruises he may have.
Yeah, a lot of pressure.
Nelson, the catch and shoot up, no good. Left it short, and MacArthur comes with the air ball rebound. And Phillips just going to walk it up the floor. 6:51 to go. Gets it to Anderson at the free throw line. Back out front, Phillips. Phillips going to come out, or Anderson going to come out, screen Gowan. They go baseline, Cunningham, 10-footer off the baseline, up and good. 38-27, the MacArthur lead.
Yeah, I don't think Cunningham's been in much of the game at all, and he comes in here in the fourth quarter and attempts a three and then hits a baseline jump shot.
Saucy out front to Gowan. Gowan going to drive in the lane, kick out Nelson. Nelson back to Polis. Polis trying to make that drive, stop and pop from 10, up, no good. Rebound, Saucy comes out of there with it. Nelson out of the corner, good! A Chris Coyne State Farm three. Nice kick out by Tyler Saucy and a way to hustle for the rebound.
Yeah, great rebound there by Saucy too. Went it way high for the rebound, kicked it out to Nelly, and Nelly, good job of getting those feet set.
MacArthur lead is 8, 6:02 to go. Phillips down the lane, layup time, got it. Rylan Phillips gets his first deuce, I think, his second deuce of the game. 40-30, the MacArthur lead. Well, Elijah Polis, give him credit for the fight tonight. Gowan, the long three, up, no good. Cook goes up for the rebound.
Take it up, Cook.
Cook going to muscle it up against Shelley, got fouled, and the ball would not roll over the front of the iron. Good aggressive move by Peyton Cook. He'll go to the free throw line. Karan Shelley with his first foul.
Yeah, I'll tell you, the Railers have done a good job on the offensive boards tonight. Last time, but just in the last possession, Saucy with a big one to kick out to Nelson for a three, and now Peyton's going to get a chance on an offensive rebound to go back to the free throw line here.
5:38 to go. Cookie, the first one, rainbow swishes. 40-31, the MacArthur lead. Jake Bivin going to come back in the basketball game for Cammie Nelson. Again, 5:38 to go. And now the officials look like they're warning some of the MacArthur crowd. Pretty tight quarters here in this gym. Josh, crowd's right on the floor with you.
Yeah, good crowd here for MacArthur on their senior night. Nice contingent of Railer fans making the trip down.
Cookie got them both. 40-32, the lead to 8. 5:37 to go. Anderson, or Phillips, the long pass in the corner, Cunningham. Back out to Anderson, back to Phillips, and Phillips going to direct traffic now. Phillips goes inside Anderson. Anderson down the lane and got fouled. And the foul going to go against Peyton Cook.
And he gave a forearm shove to Saucy, and Saucy went flying. It looked like there's a chance of an offensive foul.
5:21 to go here in the fourth quarter. And Anderson, Jabrin Anderson, the lefty, nails the first free throw.
Yeah, give Anderson 7 here on the night.
(41-32), the MacArthur lead is 9. Both teams with 5 fouls. Anderson's second one up and good. The pressure on. Saucy in trouble, looking. Finally runs the baseline, and Gowan in the corner. He's in trouble. He's in serious trouble. Trapped in the corner, throws the ball away. Anderson comes out of there with it. Kick out Phillips. Phillips didn't put up the three. Kicks it back out Anderson. He thought about the three, and now MacArthur's going to pull the basketball out. MacArthur. Move out against Phillips. Phillips backs up. 4:52 to go. Phillips down the lane. Good kick to Walker. Walker in the basketball game. Kick back to Affalone. Affalone to Phillips. Phillips, Affalone. Affalone. Ball tipped away by Gowan. Anderson got quickly to the basketball and keeps it for MacArthur. Boy, Josh, every time we get a hand on it, they seem to be right there.
Yeah, and that just tells you a little bit, guys are a little bit quicker to the ball and wanted a little more.
And again, ball lost away, and there they go diving on the floor, and he stepped on the sideline, and Lincoln's going to get the basketball. Cook had a hand on it.
I don't know if they're comfortable doing that. I'm sure they've done it a lot in the past, and they can do that against a man, but they don't. You know, when you take the aggressiveness out of your team by just trying to hold it, it becomes tough.
And ball nearly thrown away to Cook. Cook lost it, gets it back, saves it somehow, and it goes to MacArthur. Anderson goes to Phillips. Phillips, cross-court Affalone. Affalone drives in. Kick to Walker. Back out front, Affalone. 4 minutes to go here. In Anderson. Anderson, baseline Shelley. Reverse layup, no good. Rebound, I think it was partially blocked by Cook, and Cook came out of there with the board. 3:50 to go. Still plenty of time. Lincoln only down 10, 42-32. Polis hounded out front. He's been hounded all night. And Polis, ball nearly knocked away by MacArthur. It was. Affelone knocks it out of bounds. It'll stay Lincoln basketball. And we're going to have an officials timeout here on the floor. Let's send it back to the station. For 60 seconds, this is Railer basketball on WLCN FM 96.3. Back here at MacArthur High School, Jay Harden, Josh Komnick bringing you the action. The Professor Lloyd Kirby working the high-def camera here tonight. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast. Probably not enjoying the score right now. Josh, 42-32, plenty of time left in this basketball game, but Lincoln needs a basket here.
Yeah, and we've struggled more here in the fourth quarter against the pressure from MacArthur than we did early on in the game, and they're starting to ramp it up a little more, and the officials not calling the hold and the grab, and it's going to be a lot of that.
Tried to go inbounds to Polis, and Affelone knocked the ball away and stepped on the sidelines. We are having trouble getting the ball inbounds, and once we do, we're having trouble advancing the basketball.
Yeah, they're switching on screens. We're just not able to get anybody loose.
Polis, we can't get him loose to get the basketball. They finally go into Cook. Peyton's waiting. Go ahead and dribble it across the timeline. Peyton does. Into the front court. Peyton looking for somebody to dish the ball to. Boy, their quickness, they got people covered.
They know Paulus starts the offense, and they're all over him.
Paulus, baseline shot up from 10 feet and got it. 42-34, the MacArthur lead. 3:20 to go.
The Railers get a stop here. Jay, just an 8-point deficit. We'll fight back again.
Biven forces Affelone to kick the ball out to Philipson. Anderson and Phillips. Phillips goes inside Anderson. Anderson down to Shelley. Good pass, layup time, got it.
Yeah, and that's what they can do, too. They can spread you out, and then you get it to the middle. And then Anderson, a good passer from that three-point line.
Polis unfortunately had his pocket picked by Affelone. Shelley gets the layup. It's 46-34. 2:42 to go in a basketball game. Polis. And the ball knocked away again. A long pass on the side, and MacArthur's just quicker than the pass.
Well, and the Railers kind of stopped their cut to get open, and instead of coming to the basketball all the way to it.
Sassi inbounds to Polis. Polis to Cook. Cook looking. Cooking going to drive in the lane. Cook. Nice turnaround up and got it. Good move by Peyton Cook in the lane. 46-36.
Yeah, good job by Cook. Didn't back away once he took the initial bump and just bumped back to him. And Cook got us a big basket.
Affelone, long three on the way. Got it. Affelone nails the three, 49-36. Josh, they've got a ton of weapons on the offensive end.
Yeah, they do. They're going to be, they play like this. They're going to be tough. They're tough out when regional comes.
Gowan, step back three, around and out. No good. Cook went up for the rebound, couldn't grab it. And MacArthur's got it. Phillips in the backcourt. And nearly stolen away by Biven. It was knocked away, and MacArthur quick to the ball. They got it back.
Yeah, that's kind of been our story all night. We get the tip away, but can't come up with the steal.
Affelone going to throw up the three again. Almost got it. Up, no good. Tip, rebound, Cook. Cook, hand off to Polis. Polis in trouble. Double team. Polis picked up his dribble. Goes to Cook. Dangerous pass. Cook across the timeline. Corner Gowan. Gowan launches a rainbow three. Got it. Chris Coyne State Farm three for Gowan out of the corner. 49-39. Timeout, Lincoln. Let's go ahead and keep it right here. Remind you of many of our fine sponsors. Another Top Hat Creamery timeout. Stop by before or after the game for a sweet treat in Lincoln's Arcade Building. Mike Mosky Auction Service, phone 217-519-3959 or go to moskyauction.com. Heartland Community College is Lincoln's community college. At Heartland, you will get the personal attention and support you need to be a successful student. Discover Heartland. Discover your future. Visit heartland.edu/Lincoln. Worth & Associates Realtors, honest, caring realtors serving Logan County since 1974. Call 217-735-3411 or go to worthrealtors.com. Our streaming live video sponsors, Sal Polis Financial Advisor with Edward Jones, located at 1400 Woodlawn Road in Lincoln. Town and Country Bank, a proud sponsor of Lincoln Railer Basketball. Me Realty, located at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln. And, of course, every Railer three-point basket sponsored by Chris Coyne, State Farm Insurance. Again, the girls play tomorrow night. Cross your fingers, everybody. We know what's coming. Girls play tomorrow night for the regional championship, or excuse me, Thursday night for the regional championship. I'm ahead of myself here.
Yeah, you're going to have to cross your fingers for the weather.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And Josh, I was thinking about that could be a problem if Thursday night's boys game gets wiped because of the weather. When do you reschedule it? I mean, you don't have much time.
Well, I don't know if you do.
Yeah, and that may be it.
It's not going to decide anything. Everything's already decided. So, as you said, boys regional starts on this coming Saturday. The Railers will be in action on Wednesday on the winner of two teams. I haven't even looked that far, but who knows what's going to happen tomorrow night, it sounds like.
MacArthur in the backcourt, just a minute to play. Phillips, good pass to Walker, baseline up, no good. Cook got a hand on it, and Sassi comes out with the rebound. Polis quickly up the floor. Polis quickly to Bivin. Bivin going to drive baseline, kick back out Cook. Cook, kick to Sassi. Sassi going to drive in, kick back to Cook. Cut. Railers now looking for somebody. Sassi back to Cook. Cook going to take the drive. Cook kick to Gowan. Gowan looking for Sassi as the cutter gets it to Polis. Polis picked up his dribble, kicks to Sassi. Sassi going to drive down the lane. Ball knocked away by Anderson. And MacArthur with good defense picks up the steal. And a foul in the backcourt. Looks like the foul was on Jake Bivin. And we're going to go to the other end of the court and shoot one in bonus.
Well, looks like the Raiders are going to fall here tonight, Jay, but these guys are dragging. You can see Saucy, Cook, Bivin with their hands on the knees, and Elijah went through a battle out there with all the guards that guarded him, full court the whole game long. A great effort. This is just a really good basketball team that has shot the ball really well here tonight.
Phillips, first free throw up and good. That makes the score 50-39, 28 seconds go. Yeah, Josh, you're right. This team has fought from the opening bell and has not given up. Just a lot of quickness out there, and you try and take away a positive. This will be a very good learning experience for this basketball team.
Yeah, I hope it bodes well for them down the stretch as they get into regional play, which is, it's right around the corner. As you said, game on Thursday, we hope, barring weather that's planned, they tell us is coming in. And then, the Railers, what bothers me a little bit, Jay, is the Railers will play Thursday, and then they're off all the way until has had week-long break. Yeah, we've got to get that game in somehow.
To go here in a basketball game. 51-39, the MacArthur lead. Lincoln led early on, and then MacArthur raced a 5-0 deficit very, very quickly, thanks to Brylan Phillips, and has led ever since. And another timeout as Therese Bryson going to go to his bench and get his seniors out of the ball game, I believe, Josh. That's what he's doing. And now he goes to the bench and clears his bench. Therese Bryson going to clear his bench with a 51-39 lead. 8.4 seconds to go. Getting his seniors their recognition on senior night. And Josh, if they lost twice to Springfield Griffin, I have to sit and wonder how good is Sacred Heart Griffin.
Yeah, they're playing really well. They're the number one seed in their area of the subsectional, I believe. So it's going to be
and MacArthur just going to run out the clock in the backcourt. They do. And that will end the basketball game with MacArthur taking home the victory, 51-39 in the 43rd meeting between these two schools. Lincoln had led the series 31-11. It's now 31-12 against the MacArthur Generals. These two teams could meet again in sectional tournament play over at Danville. So we're going to send it back to the station for a 2-minute timeout and created post-game show. Very happy MacArthur crowd floods the floor on their senior night. People getting pictures taken out here. Lincoln team has gone back to the locker room to get themselves gathered up for the ride down 121 and the ride home. Lincoln goes down tonight 51-39 to a very physical and very talented and very quick Decatur MacArthur basketball team. Josh?
Yeah, it was, the Railers fought their way. We were down 12 to start that third quarter. After down 10 at half, the alley-oop dunk put it to 12, and then the Railers came back with a quick answer. And then we got it to within 5, I believe, 5 or 6. And then MacArthur kind of went on there a little bit of a run there and get it to 10, and the Railers just didn't have enough in the tank left to get anything. The pressure started to ramp up, and like I said earlier, it bothered us more in the fourth quarter than it did in the opening part of the game.
That may be as hard as I've seen any team guard Elijah Polis all year. And it wasn't just one player from their team. They switched off on him. They constantly had somebody on him. It wasn't the same guy all the time, but whoever was on him was all over him during that basketball game.
I remember when I played, that was Southeast to me. That was a team that you knew in the locker room you had went through a dogfight. They had guys throwing at you. They had multiple guys. They didn't care if they fouled you and he's feeling that in the locker room too. He just could not get by his guy to get around. He got a few opportunities, but not as many as we've been seeing Elijah do. Full court press, playing hard on defense, doing everything he does for the Railers. It really can wear a guy out, and that's exactly what he's got to be feeling in the locker room.
Coach has made his way up here, so we'll hold off the scoring until we get a word with Coach. Wherever you wish to sit, sir. Well, Coach, not the result you wanted. That's probably the most physical and quickest basketball team I think we'll see all year. If you take a positive out of this, that's a good learning experience for your basketball team.
Well, I just told the kids, we had some bad shots, bad decisions. Bad shots will lose more games than anything, and we had a few of them in there. When you're trying to stay pace with these guys, you can't take bad shots. And however, our kids fought. Our kids, we have them on tape now. If we can just get back to them, I want to play them on a neutral floor where they're not in their surroundings, and hopefully they won't shoot it like they did. They can shoot it really well, but let's put them in another gym and see if they can shoot it that way, and then we'll see if we can do the outcome could be a little bit better.
Yeah, you're right, Coach. It could have gotten a lot worse real fast. You know, Phillips came out on fire in the first quarter, and you got it to within 10 as Coach Bryson tried to stall a little bit, and then we got a turnover. Paulus hit a big three here, and then they hit the dunk after to open the third, and it got to 12, and then we answered right away, and then we got it to within 5. I mean, our guys fought
and took a bad
all
shot.
night. Yeah,
that's when we took the bad shot instead of working for a good one, and that's, you know, those are learning experience for our kids, and they can see that on tape. And you know, we got to worry about hopefully Thursday night playing Muhammad, and then we got to play Wednesday and them in the first round of the regional or sectional. So we you know, it was a good night because we got a lot of things. We got a good tape on them. We know exactly what they're going to do, and then we have to just some things. But I'm not sure they can shoot it as well as they did, but they do have great shooters.
Yeah, Coach, we noticed, too, one thing cause for concern if you do have a chance. The 50-50 balls were never ours tonight.
None. Somewhere. So be ready to turn and attack it, and that's what we all have to do. And but the 50, if we get 50 to 50 of them, if we get half of them, we get probably another 10 shots.
Yeah, you change possessions for them as well, too. They don't get as many shots in, and a couple of them probably led to some baskets, which became a little struggle just for us to get the ball in bounds.
Well, they get you dog tired.
Yeah.
And then you don't move as quick as you did in the first and second quarter, and you know, we just got to do a better job of it. So, but
hard as he's been all year, they constantly had somebody almost riding him like a horse. I mean, I hate to say that, but and it wasn't just one player. They constantly had somebody on a line.
Hopefully we can get a Railer Nation with it. I'd go watch the girls play in the regional championship. They've got a chance to move on to the sectional, which would be at our place, which would be something for them to be able to do, and hopefully have a great atmosphere at Roy S. But you know, if you got a choice, everything just kind of slides by us, and we're able to get it in and get the region.
Right, we're going to turn it over to Josh. Josh, do you have scoring for the folks who may be listening in their cars or listening on TV?
They the Generals were led tonight by Brylan Phillips. He finished with 19, 8 points for Jabrin Anderson, 6, and Tyler Saucy, both in double figures with 10, 7 for Cam Nelson, 5 for Aiden Gowan, and also Elijah Paulus, and 2 points for Jake Biven for the 39 for the Railers. 51-39 MacArthur here from MacArthur High School.
Well, they're starting to turn the lights off here, and before we go, there's one thing I'd like to say to all of you out there in Railer Nation. Thank you very much for listening to us this year. This has been a blast for me to be able to come back and do this and fill in for Scott Kirby. I didn't get to work with Scott this year, but it is a pleasure to work with Scott. And I want to tell my broadcast partner here, Josh Comnick, Josh, you make this very enjoyable, and it's a blast for me to work with you and Lloyd Kirby. I don't know if we'll get to work again together this year, but if we don't, it's been a pleasure working with you.
If we're on the road, you have to be, because Scott doesn't go on the road.
I think that monitoring device won't let him go out of Logan County. So that's going to wrap it up here from Decatur MacArthur High School. The next boys game that we will have on WLCN is scheduled for Thursday night. Cross your fingers. We know that weather's coming. And don't forget, the girls are going to play for a regional championship possibly on Thursday night. Go over to Champaign and watch the girls if you can. Take your phone with you, and you can listen or watch us on your personal device. That's going to wrap it up here. Lincoln goes down 51-39 in a non-conference contest to the Generals of Decatur MacArthur. Lincoln moves to 23-7 on the year. For station manager Jim Ash, for studio producer, director Winnie Ransdale, who keeps us all in line, and we love working with her. For Lloyd Kirby, our on-site producer and cameraman. For Josh Comnick, my broadcast partner. For Scott Kirby in absentia, this is Jay Hart. Once again, the final score, MacArthur 51, Lincoln 39. It's time to send you back to the classic rock experience on the Nighttime Fix 96. Good night, and thanks for listening.